Well, I want to remind our audience that we're joined today by Forrest Fenn, and we're going to go into the reason that wherever I go, people ask me about you and the treasure hunt. So, his most recent book is a wonderful memoir called The Thrill of the Chase, and you really started something with this. You told me that you had been ill and you were looking back at your life, and you realized that what mattered the most to you as in all of your adventures was the thrill of the chase. And please remind our audience what you did about this treasure, this hidden treasure, and then let's talk about all the emails you get and all the people always come up to me and say, has anyone found the treasure yet?
Well, this morning I received my 5,057th email.
Oh.
And I've kept all of them. But you know, I never did go to college. I never studied business, and my whole life was Air Force. I joined as a private. I made buck sergeant, went to pilot training, got a commission, became a fighter pilot, and when I retired at age 40, over half of my life had been spent in the Air Force with no education and no experience other than that. So I decided that Santa Fe was a place I wanted to go, but I had to make some money. My retired pay was $800 a month with a wife and 2 kids. And I could get by on that, you know, if we didn't go to the movies or drink Dr. Peppers and that kind of thing. But I just told myself, you know, and then when I reached age 58, I got cancer. And I lost a kidney. And I asked the surgeon before we went in for the operation, I said, what are the chances of this being cancer? He said 5%. I said, okay, let's go with it. Well, a 1-hour operation turned into 5, and afterwards he gave me a 20% chance of living 3 years. So I went through all of the emotions, you know, shock, disbelief.
Denial, anger, yeah.
I went through all of those, but after about, I'm a pragmatic person. And when I look back at the career that I had in the art business and the Air Force, I said, you know, I've had my share, so maybe I'm being called out. And I accepted that, but I said, I've had so much fun, particularly in Santa Fe, buying all these Indian things and ancient Egyptian and you name it. I had all of them in my gallery. I said, I've had so much fun collecting these things. If I've got to go, I'm just going to take it with me. As a matter of fact, Ralph Lauren came in my house one day. He was a good collector. And he saw a bonnet that I had hanging on my wall. It was a crow medicine bonnet, had ermine skins on it and antelope horns. And he said, I want to buy that thing. I said, I don't want to sell it. He said, you have so many of them. He said, you can't take it with you. You know what I said to him? Then I'm not going. And, you know, I started thinking about that later, and I said, well, you know, if I got to go, why don't I just take this stuff with me? And I got the idea that I'm going to buy, I gave $25,000 for a beautiful Flemish chest that they think dates to like 1150 AD. And I started going to gun shows and indie shows and buying gold nuggets and gold coins. And about 6 months later, I had 20.2 troy pounds of gold in that chest. And jewelry that had emeralds and Ceylon sapphires and diamonds. And
there's a bracelet with 240 something rubies on it.
Rubies, yeah.
A Spanish emerald ring, a beautiful big emerald.
That was found in the Galisteo Basin with a metal detector.
Oh.
And 2 beautiful little jade, ancient Chinese jade carvings of faces. I mean, the best things I had, you know, I was going to take them with me. I mean, I was 79 years old, so, you know, what do you have to look forward to?
Yeah. Well, so tell us what you did with this chest.
Well, I took the chest out and I hid it. And in my book,
The Thrill of the Chase.
The Thrill of the Chase, I say that it's in the mountains somewhere north of Santa Fe. But there was a lady, a neighbor over there. I didn't know her, but she said she was a neighbor. She called me on the phone. She was really mad at me. I said, why are you mad at me? She says, there's 2 guys out there digging up my front yard. And I said, well, I'm sorry. Tell the guys to leave. The treasure chest is north of Santa Fe.